Hey everybody, this is Grace. In this video I want to talk about infantilization. I used to make videos about it. It happened in a long while. And it's basically when somebody treats somebody much younger than their age. You know, usually you hear a lot of that with children, like parent treating their child much younger, or somebody treating an elderly person, like doing baby talk with them, just treating them younger than their age, and how wrong that is. I used to do videos on that, but it can be at any age, really, seriously. Okay, now there's another. Now in my own life, I have seen this, and I noticed this when I was really young, that some people, they would seem to think that, when I was a teenager. Well, a child and a teenager is a little different when you become an adult than to what it should be when you become an adult. But like, say, you're a teenager and you have a sibling. I had a sibling who was just a year in school, a grade above mine, and she tended to think she's the big sister. When you're growing up, that's pretty common. The big sister, the little sister, whatever they call it, wherever you live, the sibling. Even though they're like only a year, but once you become an adult, that starts changing. You're going to work with people of all ages, and if they shouldn't treat you like, oh, you're the baby of the family. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, there is a difference in ages, and yes, you process more. The older you get, the more you have been able to process. Like if you're learning a job that takes a lot of learning, really, you have to age to learn it. You can't, bam, it's all there. You see what I'm saying? So yeah. But when they start treating you personally, like what I've seen is some people try to do this of that because they're older, than they're wiser, like a year older. I'm talking about. They're so much wiser when they're not. When they're within the same age group cohort. Like I said, like a year or 2 years. And I used to think that it was only baby boomers. I'm born the year before the last year of baby boomers, and thought it was mainly baby boomers. Well, I have a feeling it's not. It didn't end there. Although I've seen too many people who are younger trying to do that to people who are more like in their 40s, 50s and up. Yeah, so no, people need to stop trying to infantilize other people. They're trying to make them look, basically all around less wise, less this, less that, less knowledgeable, less, like some people think, oh, the baby boomers, they don't understand computers. We have to teach them and all that. Maybe they're just letting you. Because some of it is they're embarrassing themselves. People who think that the baby boomers don't know anything about computers. Really, they are. Where do you think it originated? Or social media. And then it wasn't even the baby boomers, just the baby boomers, but a big chunk of it. The beginning was the baby boomers. So, but even before then. So, anyway, but yeah, people need to stop doing this. Seriously. And I just recently had an experience when I was thinking, I'm 61 now, but my experiences over the past couple of years, 2 or 3 years, really, that you can read stuff that says you have a growth spurt, mental and physical, around this age or adult, or growth changes. And I'm definitely one that happened to, and all the health conditions I've been through and everything. And there's a lot of emotional growth. And overall, I look at things differently. And a lot of it is me just kind of shaking my head, Did you just hear my neck pop? Probably so. But just shaking my head, it's what some people are trying to do to another as if there's some kind of little war going on, especially in generations, within and against. That's ageism. That definitely needs to stop. Okay, but lately, I've had another experience with Adam and his family. Adam is older than I, not too many years older than I. He and I met and married over 40 years ago, and then his family, they have this really bad habit of inviting themselves over. We don't see them that often, but his brother did it. His older brother did it just it was a little over a week ago, and he's supposed to be basically staying a couple of weeks. Okay, now his brother wanted to take a vacation. The short version is they went to see other family. Adam went with him, his older brother, and they drove to see other family members in Texas. We're in North Texas. They went all the way to South Texas. Now here's a difference where they went when they were, the day that they left to start to come back here, they stopped in between with another family member. But they left, and he said it was 101 degrees. Got to the next stop, another brother, and to stay the night, and it was 70, 31 degrees less. And if he would have came home that day to back up here to North Texas, it would have been about 28 or something like that degrees less. So, wow, just think of that, even lesser. Yeah. So that was kind of wild. But anyway, it was a long trip for them, and they were gone for 5 days. Now I was home 5 days, 4 nights, I think. I was home by myself. Well, the second day, they left like in the morning, and then the next evening, I wound up in the ER, and that's when they basically discovered I have congestive heart failure. And I had to get on Lasix while I was there. They put me on Lasix and left me there for about an hour and a half after that. He turned it off because I don't know if this person is a teenager or what, and I don't put other people's children or minors in my videos. But I don't know whether he had to stop and check his phone. I don't know if he's going to cross in front of me or what. But anyway, he just stopped right there, didn't hit his tracks. I don't know, maybe he's young 20s. Anyway, where was I? Yeah, I was home by myself. Okay, and then I went into the ER. Had really bad shortness of breath, couldn't sleep at night, and did not realize how swollen it was, except for that day. I was at my physical therapist, and the walk from the parking lot to their office to their, it was, I couldn't breathe, and there was a nurse from some other practice in the hall. She said, "Ma'am, are you okay?" I was saying, "Oh, I'm here for physical therapy." I mean, I could barely breathe, and then she said, "Okay," and I started walking. Ma'am, are you okay? You take it easy. You need to take it easy. And I stopped at the restroom, and there was a woman there. She said, "Ma'am, are you okay?" I'm telling you, I was not okay. And it's not that easy to recognize it. Sometimes you need other people around to say, "Hey, you're really not okay." I just thought I was short of breath, because I was walking. Well, it shouldn't be that way, of course. I'm not in any way, shape, form, or fashion a health guru or voice of authority on anything concerning, health, medical, any of that. But it was, I don't know, it was just weird. And anyway, my physical therapist, we were working on my legs because of a rare health condition, and she muscle atrophy and stuff. She said, she had to do an evaluation, month evaluation. She said, "Your legs are so big. They're so swollen." They're not big, but swollen, And I really didn't, I knew that they were a little bit swollen, but they had become real swollen. And I didn't know all of what that means and everything. And anyway, I went home, had lunch, fell asleep, woke up, went to go to an urgent care, and the urgent care, really nice woman working there, she said, "No, ma'am, we're not seeing you. You're going directly to the hospital." She was very nice about it. And so I went to the hospital ER, and that's what they found, was congestive heart failure. And the doctor was really, really nice, really thorough. He actually diagnosed, had no problem. He said, "I know exactly what this is. That is so rare. I mean, this has been over 2 years with the swelling and everything, and none of them diagnosed that." And felt confident and said, I have not heard a doctor say, "I know exactly what it is," and put a diagnosis on something like that. And so long, I don't even remember, honestly. I mean, there are little things. This is a big thing, but I'm talking about little things even. They may here and there say, things that are kind of common. But when it comes to anything big, they're not putting their name on it. That's how I've seen it. And that whole experience with all of that is what really aged me in a good way. I look at the world a little differently. Some people say, of course, and of course it is, of course. Of course it is, of course, yeah. That, you have one of those kinds of experiences. And mine has been not 2.5 years, a year and a half, actually April, May, somewhere in there. Well, it was April at least. It'll be 2 years. Okay, with swelling, yeah. And that's a lot. And there's more to it than just swelling. We're talking at this point, it was almost really close to 50 pounds. I'm not kidding. Over that time. And I kept telling them, look, this is, and none of them would really address it. This is swollen. I am 61 years old. I look like I'm 9 months pregnant. And it was just like they weren't even listening. Or they're caught up in some other kind of world or something. Not there when they're there. Maybe they were. I used to always say in other situations, when you're talking to somebody, they're not there, like at a store or something like that. The cashier, is that they're off texting someone in their mind. They're not there. It's like, hello, hey, I'm sitting right here in front of you. But it just would seem, no matter, I saw so many healthcare providers, all different levels, and they just weren't there overall for the most part. So yeah, and this one, he'd come in, he was like, "Yep, I know exactly what this is," and he'd already run the test, had the results, all this stuff. So it was, like I said, that was the thing that really, it's made me start to grow, definitely. It's when my health had started changing when I was 59, and I started noticing things that, who is this person in the mirror? Really, who am I now? I don't recognize myself. I really don't, especially, almost 50 pounds. I don't recognize myself. This is it's just swollen. It's not. When I was in the hospital, I took a picture of my right knee, which was the one that was most swollen. And Adam and his brother had already left. They were on vacation, going to see all their family. And I sent it to them, and they were at their cousin's, one set of their cousin's house, and they showed the pictures. All of them know me, and they showed the photos. These are people who are doctors and who are in professional fields like those there. They were doctors, okay. So he showed it to everybody, and they work in medical or doctors. So anyway, they were like, "Whoa, yeah," and I was freaked out. It was like 3 times the size is normal. I did not know it was that much. Oh, here comes a bus, so school bus. Okay, it's past now. Hopefully, yeah, that's not a kid. But like I said, I don't put other people's kids in my videos. But anyway, yeah, you know, all these kinds of situations, you know, of course, you know, we studied this a long time ago. I did, and my degrees are in psychology and sociology, so it's nothing new to me that this is a kind of a norm. You know, you have a major event in your life, and it will change you. It will make you grow up. And for some people never grow up, as many of us know. They don't, do they? And quite often those are the ones, in my experience, it might not be yours, my experience, those are the ones who do things like infantilize other people. They treat them like they're a child. Oh, they have to find some way. It just seems like that's part of their personality. They must find some way to make everybody else seem inferior. And that's quite often what they do. You know, not all of them. Not all of them do the same thing. In my experience, these are more the ones who have histrionic behaviors. You know, and the cluster B and the DSM personality disorders. There's narcissistic personality disorder, antisocial personality disorder, borderline personality disorder, and histrionic personality disorder. That is one I really think more people need to pay more attention to. Seriously. You know, stop getting hung up on narcissists and throw everything under that. Okay, I don't know why you're driving like that, but really? Y'all couldn't see it, but she turned the corner, came all the way in this lane, and just stayed in this lane, my lane. Okay, and just stayed like that. And then she went through the alley. But it was like, okay, do you own this whole road? Oh my goodness, I don't know. Now she's driving down the alley, and I don't think she can see right. Maybe. Weird. She's not. Now she's turning around. Oh, is she gonna hit me? Come back down the road. Yeah. Maybe you need to go home. You really need to go home, woman. She is back up. I know you're saying, I don't need to hear all this. Well, it's happening. Real life happens in the middle of a video. But she like backed up. Do you know how to back up? She cannot drive straight. Okay. Whoa. Really? Now that's weird. That's not her. What the crap? Okay. Whoa. She jumps. They jump and change SUVs because it was the same SUV. Okay, maybe I need to go home. No, that was weird. It was the same SUV, unless just something miracle happened. But could have been somebody changing SUVs. But anyway, let's move on from that. How about that? Kind of rambling, but I just wanted to get out. But by the way, they did get home yesterday. Adam and his brother. You know, after I'd called him to tell him I was going to go take a shower. I wanted him to know, you know, again, that I was in the shower in case something happened. You know, like passing out in the shower. He could call for a welfare check on me or something. Okay, there was another teenager on a bicycle, that one. But, you know, so I called him, and he was telling me, this is the second one. The cousins did it too. And he said, his brother said, no, y'all can't go. You only got here yesterday. Stay another night. And I said, is anybody thinking about me? By that time, I really was. The weird thing was, when all this was going on, I was so, like, I don't know what to even call it. It was like I was really mild and meek and talking like this. And so, okay, you know, Oh, I know a few words that come to mind, but it doesn't really fit. But still, and then by that time, I guess something, you know, I'm not like that. In other words, I'm not like that. I state you know, how I see things. But during, I guess, when they left, and before then, I guess it was the health was so, you know, so bad or whatever. It had made me like weak in the mind in a way. You know, like, I don't even want to call it weak. But yeah, you know, not to stand up and say, hey, you can go anywhere when I'm doing this. You know what I'm saying? And I don't need your brother here. I'm going through all this. You know, like I said, they left the morning of the day before. So, but still, I had not been well. But yeah. Anyway, I'm kind of rambling. You wouldn't believe all the weirdness people driving. You know, it is 5 o'clock, 5:04 p.m. And you wouldn't believe all that. You know, I'm kind of like a little distracted. But the way people are driving right now in this neighborhood, it's like, seriously? Really? Okay, but this is just a little I'm throwing out here. I do want to talk more, say more about, you know, this whole thing of people trying to infantilize. Because that's, in a way, what I was feeling. That's not really, but somewhat. And I'm like, the thing about it is the people that I know, when it comes to maturity, and when it comes to too many of the people I know, not everybody, they're immature. You know, they haven't, you know, like I said, this could be one of those sudden growth spurts in mental, you know, emotional and all that because of what happened to me, but not exactly. It wasn't just totally right then. It's been leading up to and all that. But others, they still haven't realized they're not young anymore. You know? I mean, we're not terribly old, but still not young. Anyway, I'm going to wrap this up. I'll talk to you on another video. There's another child coming.